Welcome to our 28-day practice. We are on day number 16 in the theme of movement. And actually, today is a really cool one. Actually, all movements are very fun. So we have each day, each theme, which there are 7 of, you get to practice 4 times. So we're in the 3rd week of movement. And today's practice is shake your body.
I have done that today, like dancing in my kitchen already.
So yeah, but it's not dancing, it's just shaking.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the level of dancing, isn't it?
That's right. So we could just get up for a moment. Let's just start
Oh,
and then
do
we'll
it.
talk about it. We're
Yeah.
gonna do the shake together. Oh, what you got? A
The,
bush on you?
the plan is dancing too.
Oh, okay then. The plan was like, that's what I was waiting
It's
for.
like, really, like, I'm made for
That's
dancing.
right. We're gonna shake it all out, shake it all out, shake it all out.
It's not want to go back.
It's like you haven't shaken me yet.
No, I think she needs a new home.
Yeah, because the first day that we did movement was like raising our arms once, twice, and obviously as many times as you'd like. The second movement was take a walk, which can be easy depending on how you structure your day. And then today, 3rd day, is shake your body. Just shake it. I'm excited for the last week, but I'm not gonna talk about it just now. You're fine. Shake your legs. Each leg its own. Shake your arms, shake your head, shake your everything. Shake them all together. Legs, arms, woohoo!
Yes.
Ah, and then we can just take a seat and take a moment with eyes closed and just settle into the body. Maybe you notice any tension in a particular place. Maybe you'll notice something opening up. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale out. If your eyes were closed, you could slowly open them up. Come back to the space.
We have to open the eyes.
You don't. You can keep them closed if you want.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
Well, also for you, it's already a little bit more on the darker side, I would assume. At least it looks like it.
Dark, I think we are preparing for the dark ages.
Yeah.
For speaking to.
Well, share with me a little bit. How does this, I mean, not that you've never done this before, I'm sure, but like, what does it make it feel like? What do you notice? And then obviously with sitting in stillness, noticing all the chemical reaction of the shaking.
But I think one of the first things that shaking does to the body is kind of like, it's like rebuffing, isn't it? Like it's like if you actually go for, I'm not sure this is shared, but I feel like it's just like if anyone goes into the web page, it's not really loading well and you reload. So I think the shake does the same thing for our body, and because the skin is obviously the bigger organ, but it also get dry, also get tense. It also, like is connected to the bones, and sometimes when we, especially when we are static for a long time, not only will we start getting that position if we don't have awareness about our body, but we start collapsing, we start like our emotional body, I always say, is like a memory foam, isn't it? And there's the fascia and the muscles if they are pulled, and also through life we are accumulating like basically, and this body structure which it becomes our character and personality, how we stand, how we move. And I think like the shaking should be, because I think what is being found too, the any shaking or going against the gravity field or something like that, it really resets the whole body for self creation. And but I really think it just helps to separate for a moment your mind from your body, allowing you to do something essential, let's be honest, which is, as you say, like take that second, because sometimes that's the difference, shaking and pausing, or just shaking. Because if you are shaking, you will have an epileptic attack if you hold it for too long. I wouldn't think that the shaking for too long is good, but the shaking and holding and just breathing and just becoming aware of that part of your body, I think is could be a very good tool for people to start practicing more mindfulness, and just to come back to the moment and just to create a bit of a mind disconnection from autopilot, and just reconnect with co-pilot body and reset, like the main driver, which is basically the internal, whatever is happening to us internally, which is really motivating our thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. And the main part, one, it's super easy. You can do it anytime. It doesn't need to, like, even if you maybe are more on the shy side, meaning you don't want to show everybody you're crazy, shake your sillies out like they teach the little kids, right? Then you can just do it by shaking arms on the side, like you're shaking something out, your arm or the leg, right? One at a time. And
The one that they do in Tai Chi, I think it's Tai Chi, is it Tai Chi? But definitely in yoga, like just even like using your legs to just hit your
tap
lower,
yourself. Yeah.
and that is just like so amazing. I mean, you can do this when you go to the toilet. You can do this while you are in a queue.
Exactly. Yeah, and the main thing it really helps us with, especially because we're usually the sedentary position, like something that's more stabilized and limited, and we create tension in our bodies, so we can like really help our bodies to increase the flow of our blood, the flow of air, the flow anything in our bodies, because obviously we all know that when something is stuck, talking about the bathroom, right? It's not a great feeling. And so it can help us just bring that movement into our bodies in a very simple manner. And it doesn't require much doing. Like you can do this while sitting, right? You're on a phone call, you can just do something just to bring a little bit of movement into the body. And so the real focus here is for many people who might sit behind a desk all day to just bring some movement, even if they feel like they can't get away. Although you and me probably disagree, there's always time to move away. I also know how hard it sometimes can be to make myself, or, especially when I used to work in an office, to really get up and move myself. Even going to the bathroom is like, let me do this when I really can't hold it any longer, right? Like, not when, oh, now would be a good time, right?
But it's quite curious is what you say in terms of like how we have learned it to be very static the whole time.
Yep.
And that is like moving, is like that you are, either crazy or celebrating, right? Like it's something for us to look into that, or like how we have really lost the capacity of movement, and how we are associating to be professional, to be productive, to do all these things just with most like um static um positions. And I just think since we don't have, I mean, some people have very physical jobs, but even in a very physical job, most likely you are not always like really doing the things in the way that you have to do them with your body pretty warm. So I think like it is quite important. And then we don't walk as much. We don't do all things that we should be doing, or walk without, because that's another thing. Shaking just really would help you replace that kind of yielding to the earth, but also going against gravity. And, I think these are worthy movements for everyday living.
Yeah, and I think you're also making a great significance here is that it's something that is more like a shocking thing to the system, right? And not shocking in like, oh my God, dangerous, but really by practicing these little shocking waves, we're actually not as, like anxious when something is shocking, like when something happens immediate, that also can help our bodies to be more protective, but not in a physical manner, more in a like conscious manner. But physically, I'm not like, oh, I have to be careful. But so when I bring in a little bit more of like this shocking waves, it also can help me to be more alert in general. And so when I'm more alert, then I don't need to protect myself as much because I'm more aware, right? And so that obviously can be another aspect, and of like you mentioned with this, taking a moment after the shaking to really notice how our bodies are like settling down again. It's almost like, when you shake the snow globe, right? It's like that's exactly that shaking, and then it takes a moment for it to calm down. So that's really what we're trying to do, is like shake our lives a little upside down when it's not to be shaken, right? It's like, oh, I'm just doing this as a practice. And so the more we can practice this and our bodies are used to these little shocking experiences of like waking up, giving ourselves some energy that way, releasing tension, really simple, right? We can then also be less stressed because our bodies are not like right away in like locking mode. It's like, oh my God, there is stress. It's more of like, oh, there is stress. It's just part of the experience, right?
Yeah. And I think this is, again, the association with the stress is just really the compression about the mind, just reading time in a very compacted way, isn't it? Because I think like that's kind of like those two things will go with one another. Like stress is what moves us, like in terms of like you had to stress your body to create any movement. But if we actually don't use that stress to move, and what we are moving is just like, I for example find out too, and this is actually like I'm not sure if shaking will come, but there was a moment where I was doing a lot of writing and I was just using my iPhone and in bed, because that's why I like to just wake up and like just have my device next to me. I started noticing this finger was really hurting me, and it was just for how I was holding what I'm typing, So I think this is really important to of like taking a moment or noticing things, because sometimes we are using because actually like the weight of something increase for the length that you sustain that weight. So actually the phone in a very short thing doesn't feel like much, but like actually as time is passing, you know you are really like holding it. And if you are, I don't know, I would say for everyone to look. But yeah, I think like we need to just remember that we put our bodies in movements that are consistently very static. You know, we don't move, around. I mean, so I think it's important for us to, and I think there's a lot more. I mean, I have read a lot of advances in neuroscience with the shaking and with the bouncing or anything to do with that. It's just very, very positive for us.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because I mean, mainly because our bodies are in motion all the time. And when we are putting our bodies in a fixated position for prolonged time, the movement is less, right? So we have to like make it a little bit more animated so that our bodies remember how to continue moving naturally. And so just the same as we, talking about breath, that we have that the day before, right? On day 15, we had breath, which is before movement, because without breath, we can't move. But just breathing, right? Just taking a deep breath in, breathing out, that already is emphasizing a movement in our bodies because of the oxygen that is being pushed through all our systems. And so the shaking is just emphasizing and like bringing it to a faster and higher level of bringing that movement into our bodies.
And I think that's one of the things that I'm thinking as you're saying this is for people like, if you look at people's legs, sometimes there's another thing that they may be shaking the whole time. They that, I notice a lot when how people compress their feet, like when these are things that we do, especially if you're nervous, if when you're thin, and we have learned to mask. It's like all this is like this. Inside is like sirens. And if you look at someone's feet, normally you can see these things, And I think it's funny that because that's a shaking and that we associate it, especially I mean, it could be Parkinson too, but if it's a healthy person, we have to learn to associate that person is distressed. And when we are doing a distressing movement for a long time, I think again, we should just really reshape the body, allow to not associate something that may happen as a nervous response, obviously something that we can change, but say that at the moment it's a pattern. It's important to just be aware that you may be doing this and that you may be associating movement with a stress signal. And a good way of resetting is to do the shaking, because shaking doesn't have any shape, but also it kind of allow the spine to be bouncing, like, recalibrating that way. But it's also, you can do a lot of anchoring movements, which is also how the spine is supposed to move around into the sides. And it's like my teacher was saying, it's like it's like a snake. It should be up moving. It shouldn't be packed, because that's another thing. Like, you can do a lot of movements like these, but more or less our body is in line with it. It's, like we hopefully we are supported by our joints in a very kind of like a square way. But that's not the case. But I think what I don't see people doing, they're just movement that reach, that change, that twist the spine, that, so I think with the shaking, you can get a little bit of everything, or at least you get like this reset of the spine and our joints to really, have a bit of more open in between, because these are not natural movements of the body.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there is so much to it, and however it works for your daily life, you're implemented, and the more you can integrate it, the better. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's obviously way more things to say for those who are watching this and are receiving the 28-day practice emails and have access to the website. Go check out. There is a few more resources that you can read up that are also leading to more insights on why the shaking is good for you, how you can incorporate it into your everyday. And at the end of the day, all we can do is have a little bit more fun with each other. You could do some shaky dances with your coworkers, with your friends, with your pets, and really, integrate it in a way that works for you. And as we saw earlier this moment, we've had even plants that wanted to start shaking with us. So that's what plants are doing too. So at the end of the day, there is no limitation to shaking. Shake your booty, shake your body, and
I was gonna do something,
so we're
but
gonna
I don't
do
know. Like,
something.
wait, hold on.
All right, well, there is Eva doing something. And just while she's looking for something, Eva is a dear friend of mine who's been on this beautiful path with me for many years. I'm just going to say many years because it's just wonderful to have people like you in my life. And thank you for coming today and connecting with me. For the first time, I have somebody on my 28-day live conversation on Zoom. So thank you for being here with me. And yeah, what do you got?
I don't know what you were saying. I was just trying to put like, I don't know what happened to your voice actually. But I was just trying to put this on like shake it, shake it.
Oh, here, let me
So I think there should be like, maybe you should just add to your suggestion like a
shake it
song
like a
that
Polaroid
people can
picture.
just put on shake. But I don't know what's happened now with your voice.
Well, we shouldn't put the music on because if I want to post it on YouTube, they're not going to allow it. So We're just gonna
That's
tell
right.
people to go check out Shake It Like a Polaroid Picture by
Exactly.
Outkast.
There you go. That's the
By
one.
Outkast. This was just a little fun fact.
I
This
thought I thought
song,
that was the song that you would have put. If it was a
that,
song about
that
Allah,
was
I
the
thought
song.
that was the song.
That will be the song. That song was actually the first CD I got from my dear spouse with my first CD player that he gifted me 20 plus years ago. So here we are
You've been
celebrating
shaking for a
the
long time
shaker.
now.
Well, yes, that's right. So we're gonna listen to this song after this recording. So for whoever checked in with us, with Eva and myself, thank you so much for watching and go shake your booty. Take care. See you.